7 tips to protect and grow your business during the corona crisis and the potential upcoming economic recession. And this is the video topic for today. Today I'm joined by Andri Sadlak. Andri is an internet entrepreneur and an e-commerce entrepreneur, and he's been selling products on Amazon since 2017. At some point, Andri lost over 35K in inventory, and then he went making over 150K a month in revenue, which is pretty awesome. Also, Andri is the head of the mastermind that I'm a part of, where we gather weekly and we share our successes, struggles, we help each other on Amazon FBA and entrepreneurial topics and generally life stuff, which is a pretty awesome mastermind. And Andri comes from Ukraine. He was born in Ukraine, so what was I? And Andri moved from Ukraine to Canada in 2013. So today Andri is here with us to share his wisdom and some tips about the potentially upcoming economic recession. Man, I'm pretty happy to have you here. Thank you for taking the time to join me. Please share your story with us, man. Introduce yourself. I'm pretty happy to have you here, man.
Awesome. Thank you, Vova. Thanks for having me, and I'm pretty excited. Your introduction definitely sounds way better than I would describe myself, but thank you for that.
I mean, 100%, man.
Just to summarize what I'm about, where I'm from, as Vova mentioned, I moved from Ukraine to Canada in 2013, so it's almost 7 years now. And now I live in Vancouver, the city I was dreaming about when I was studying in Kyiv, Ukraine. And I've been involved in different industries in the last few years, but last 3 years now, I've been pretty much solely involved in Amazon FBA, so building my own brand and selling through Amazon Marketplace. And we're living through a very interesting time right now in the human history. It's 2020, and we definitely planned to have this year different than before, but nobody expected it to be that different. And I took my time to brainstorm and think about what's happening, where's my place in the world given the changes we're facing. So I've been journaling a lot. Like if you see me looking down on my desk, that's because I have lots of papers, and that's basically me journaling what's happening and what my advice is for myself. First of all, what I want to do, how do I want to approach the current situation. And I'm obviously happy to share. As Vova introduced me, we are in the same mastermind, and we always share stuff that we learn in that mastermind. And I'm happy to share with the public. There's no secret. And if that's of value to anyone, that's awesome.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I'm pretty excited for you coming and sharing the stuff. I'm excited for what you're about to tell, because I don't know what you're about to tell. So that's pretty awesome. And again, thank you for investing your time to come and share your wisdom with us. I think it's really important. And yeah, man, so let us know what you have to share. It's pretty awesome. So, I mean, I actually have my pen here and my notebook ready, man, just so you know. So I'm also taking notes.
Now I feel super serious. So first of all, I have to make a disclaimer that I'm not educated in economy, and if you want to make any life-changing decisions, definitely consult with your proper professionals like lawyers, accountants, and financial advisors. But I've outlined basic 7 steps for me as an entrepreneur, what I want to think about, how do I want to act. And I'll start from the first one. The first one for me is control your emotions. Because obviously we see a lot of fear. A lot of people are scared about the changes we're going through. And right now, just for the record, it's March 22nd where I'm at. So maybe by the time you hear this, the situation will be a little different. But we're going through extreme fear in North America, Europe, and still in Asia about the coronavirus. And it's affecting our businesses. Like my business, Vova's business, a lot of even if you're working a job, it probably affects you as well, no matter where you are. Because economy is a big domino. There is always a domino effect. When something big happens, one economy gets affected, all other ones feel that. And for me personally, I'll share that I'm in the travel industry, so my products are related to traveling. So my sales are definitely not where I want them to be. And I don't know where it's heading, whether it's going to increase and improve over the next few months, or it's going to even worsen. But my first step and my first advice to you as well is control your emotions. You want to approach this rationally. because long term, you'll be grateful for making some decisions rationally and not just reacting emotionally as we normally tend to.
Man, that's interesting. That's your first tip. Did you finish? I'm not sure. Maybe I just interrupted you. I wasn't sure if you
No,
just finished.
well, but yeah, I can add here that I recommend you start with self-awareness.
Yeah.
And we all look at situation that we are in differently. And you may identify yourself as being either on the extreme positive side, saying, hey, it's only temporary, it's not a big deal, everything's going to be back to normal, and there's nothing to worry about. Or you can be on extreme other side, saying, hey, it's the end of the world, we're all gonna die, whatever. Or you can be in the middle, where most of us are. But based on where you're at right now, you can see what your natural tendency is for making the decisions. And what I want to encourage you to do is do not let your emotions run your decisions right now, because it's very expensive to make bad decisions right now.
Right.
And we can't really predict anything. Nobody knows what to expect. There was something similar in 1918, I think, but really we don't know what it is to go through a big global pandemic like this. So
Yeah.
I wanted to encourage to learn the facts, to see what's happening, act accordingly based on what you hear from professionals, not necessarily from media, and plan your acts. And that would lead to my next tip, which if we're ready, I can proceed with the second one.
Yeah, shoot, man, of course.
So it's basically to develop a game plan. And the game plan will depend on where you're at really with your business, with your life. But the way I see it is ideally you want to have a clear spreadsheet. Doesn't have to be complicated, but it has to be an event-based milestones that trigger certain decisions, certain actions on your side. So whether it's your personal life or business, whether you're employed, maybe it's job related as well, or you're running an Amazon FBA business, in order for you not to lean towards our natural tendency of going by the emotional, reactional decision making, you need to have a clear schedule plan with numbers. So for example, just to make it more down to the ground, if your sales drop certain percentage, I do X, right? If my sales drop, I do X. If my ads perform certain way, let's say the ACOS go up by this, by Y, I do Z, you know? So if we plan that in advance and we have these steps outlined clearly before anything happens, so it has to be pre-planned when you're in a clear mindset and you're not affected by any emotional events, then when something does happen and your business is affected dramatically, or your life, you can translate it into anything, your job or your even personal family life, who knows what's happening in somebody's health situation, right? Then you know when this happens, I do this. I don't negotiate. I don't have to react. I don't have to ask for advice from the media, for example. I just know in advance that's going to be my plan A, plan B, plan C, all depending on the actual events.
I understand. So to summarize, let's summarize point number one, number two, because they're kind of connected. Point number one was speaking about controlling your emotions. And man, you're so right, because you can either choose the path of because fear is really driving people. I can hear it around myself, you know, and so people are afraid. And that's fine. But I guess we, as entrepreneurs and people who are watching, we have businesses to run, we have people that our businesses affect, and we somehow need to, you know, to take care of that. We cannot be driven by emotions at this time, because otherwise it might lead to failure, I guess, and not good things. So you gotta be rational, you gotta not let your emotions control you, rather you control them. Also take your advice and your, your information from trusted sources that at least you trust. There are many sources, so to say, that's also true. But yeah, from professionals, and act accordingly, do whatever's right, and hopefully that's gonna be fine. And again, if you're surrounded by, I would say, many people that are carrying you with negative emotions to the negative side, then I guess try to find some people who will, you know, help you to take it to the other side, for the more positive side. That's the emotions. And as developing your game plan, that's the second point we've spoken about. I want to summarize quickly as well. So in terms of, I would really speak about how you've mentioned that if something happens, if X happens, then Y happens. And that's connected to numbers, because we run businesses again. And again, for example, now you're in 30K revenue a month and you see that, Amazon stores, warehouses starting to get closed, you're dropping point to 20K, you should have a game plan there. Like what happens if I get to 20K that I can do right now in order to, what's my plan for the 20K mark? Because I guess we'll have some things to pay for. Maybe that's employees, maybe that's whatever, our mortgage, whatever that is. So I guess also have a plan for specific parts, because again, in this understood or uncertain situation, we gotta have a game plan. Yeah, these are the 2 points, man. So what's your number 3 point? What would that be?
The number 3 is kind of going hand in hand with number 2. And also I want to come back a little bit to number 2. We're not only talking about the negative events, like there are some good problems that some businesses experience right now. You may be in the niche that is experiencing extreme growth because of the change in the economic situation. Like I personally have friends who didn't expect to sell as many of certain products, and now they have a problem because they may be running out of inventory. And at the moment that we speak, Amazon restricts certain products to get into the warehouses because they prioritize the bare necessities. So you always have to look at it. So maybe your milestone is not going to be the revenue dropping, but maybe your milestone is going to be revenue increasing. Maybe you need to increase the price. Maybe you need to decrease the ad spend, right? So stuff like that. You want to control it, like have a dashboard in your little spreadsheet. And that way you can save your business, because emotional, reactional decisions will most likely kill your business. And number 3 is to cut the fat and gain the muscle. So cut fat, gain muscle. And if you translate it into your business, we want to review everything that we have in terms of expenses and streams of revenue. So if you see that certain expenses are staying the same, but your revenue is dropping, you may want to revise whether you still want to spend that much or have that service done for you at all, So for example, if you are using certain software, maybe you should unsubscribe from it because you're not using it right now. You're in a crisis mode a little bit and you're doing other things. Why would you pay $50, $100 a month right now? Because the more you can increase the gap between your revenue and expenses, the better for you. It is for you anytime, but now specifically. Or the other thing, if you see that maybe you don't spend enough on advertising, maybe your product is booming, you have more than enough in stock, and if you don't sell in time, you'll be paying long-term storage fees. Then maybe that's the expenditure you want to increase. So look at all your, maybe even go through a credit card statements. That they'll give you a pretty clear picture of what you're spending money on, or bank account as well, credit card and bank account, and what your revenue streams are, and see what you can tweak. Again, make it like a little dashboard for you, and see where you can cut fat, where you can spend less, where you shouldn't be, and where you can gain muscle, where you can increase your efforts to double down on your strengths and on the current situation to take advantage of it. So that's my 3rd point. And obviously, you'll be able to translate it into your own situation. It doesn't have to be FBA business, or maybe it's your job, maybe it's your organization's situation. And it's always nice to have that period of refreshment when you are able to look at the entire picture and see, hey, this is where we're getting fat, and maybe we should cut on something. And this is where we're really good. That's what was performing really well. Let's focus on this and increase the outcomes.
Yeah. So essentially, point number 3 is, as you mentioned, cut the fat and train the muscle. Let me kind of summarize it. We want to overlook, not mainly for those who are running businesses, our expenses in the business, or where we're getting more money, and double down on whatever's maybe working and removing what's not relevant. As Andri mentioned, maybe you have a service that you're paying for a monthly and it's not that necessary right now. So remove it and unsubscribe. Or maybe if you're not a business owner, but you have some specific payments you're having, even that's small payments. And guys, it's really important. It's this time right now, even if you have like $20 payment for something that you're not using, and you believe me, you have these, I guess. Most of us have this kind of stuff. Go through this fat, if we call
I
this
do for sure.
Yeah, man, that's something we need to work on, and that's fine. We can cut it if that's not necessary, because again, in this time when things are uncertain, then we can save, because cash is king here, I would say. If we can accumulate more cash from here, from there, why not? And we're cut on the fat. And if we see that something actually is working, and we can actually double down on that. If you see that you're selling a lot, and you see that for example, I sell in the barbecue niche. Like, people still buy tools for barbecue, because I guess they, even if they're isolated or whatever, they still cook. For what I'm really happy. So I wouldn't say that my sales really dropped, and hopefully they're going to be raising more by the summer. But for those people who have like huge like growth for things like, for example, a gun safe might be strong now because people are buying guns, just as an example, yes? You can double down on your PPC, invest more there, because your C is bringing you more. So why not? Enjoy. And that would be, cut the fat and train the muscle. So that's point number 3. Interesting point, man. Pretty cool. What's point number 4? Excited to know.
My point number 4 is turn crisis into a huge opportunity. So I want to train myself, first of all, and I think that's a good exercise for everybody else, to look for ways where you can win long term, but because of the current economic situation, you can win by making certain decisions now. Because with every crisis comes an equally big opportunity. And we all know companies like Airbnb, Pinterest, Slack, Stripe, WhatsApp, Uber. All of these companies have one thing in common. They were started in 2008, 2009 crisis.
Yeah.
So you want to be strategic and smart about where we're at, what is changing, because obviously certain things will not continue in the next few years. And where you want to focus your attention, your resources to position yourself as a winner, because there's always opportunity. And you may know it already in your niche, in your industry, or you may not know it yet. But if you're still in the discovery mode, I encourage you to definitely allocate enough time in your day talking to people, researching what's happening through internet maybe even, and see where you can add value more than you could before, or where you see the gap, where you can see the gap in the market to start something new, or to improve your business, to change the direction, change the messaging. The easiest thing you can do is change your offer. Like, you're selling something. If you're in a business, you're selling something. How can you adjust the offer in a way that people who are, like right now, they're scared of coronavirus. Maybe in a few months, they'll be just scared of the potential common economic recession. And that's the time when people buy the bare necessities. They buy out of necessity and survival. Maybe you can turn your offer, maybe you can tweak the product or the messaging that you have in a way that people need that now,
Yeah, man. Interesting. So what I understand from, so to say, point number 4, turn crisis to good opportunity, and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I think we're in some sort of crisis. Something is happening. That's what I can feel. I mean, come on, that's what's happening. Yeah,
sure.
Like, if somebody's saying not, okay, that's your point of view, right? But it seems that something is happening. And we're, as sellers, we see those drops or spikes in revenue. Something is happening, right? And that's a good time for opportunity for you, the dear viewers watching, and think about it. As Andri mentioned, you can, if you're maybe not getting enough sales, then try to reposition yourself and see how your product then maybe can be more connected to survival, so to say, these days, or to bare necessity. And on the other hand, if you are selling very well, then again, try to even improve it by understanding and being aware of what's going on, that you can adjust your business or whatever you're doing to the current situation. Because again, as Andri mentioned, in the crisis rose very strong companies back in about 10, 12 years ago. These are worth a lot of money today. And I guess they add value to people's life, and they used to add value back then in the crisis. That's what they did. They saw the gap, perhaps. They added value to the lives of people back then, and look where they are today. This can be each one of us, potentially on his level of whatever he's possible of. But still, it's a good time for opportunity, man. Thank you for this cool point, number 4, yes.
Right. Let me add to this as well. Sometimes a great opportunity may be to change the plan you had in place. I'll speak from my own experience. I had a plan to launch a couple more products. I was supposed to launch them about a month ago, but I could see the change that was about to happen and even happening at that time. And I strategically planned not to invest into those products. Just because I saw that, hey, if this is common to a recession or something like that, economic correction, most people will not be interested in those products. And I think I made a smart decision at that point. So you may want to not launch something you plan to launch, or you may want to launch something that you didn't think of before.
Yeah.
Just because you see the opportunity. And if it's aligned with your brand at least a little bit, you already have the audience, you can talk to them, be present, and offer a solution to the problem. And
ask them
the better
questions
your solution, the better you're off financially and business-wise.
All right, man. That's a good addition to turn crisis into that opportunity point. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. I'm like
just
so far.
to close this one off, I should have started with this, but it all comes to your mindset. Whatever you feed your mind, it'll see. So if you feed your mind with fear, all you will see is fear.
Fear, man. Only
Just
fear,
like I see what's happening on, like, whenever I check Facebook, Instagram, like, people are scared. And if I keep spending all my energy on checking what's happening on Facebook, Instagram, I'll be scared, right? So you want to feed your mind with opportunity if you want to end up long-term with good results. So whether you choose fear or opportunity, it's your decision, but you have to make that conscious effort to focus on what you prefer to have in your life.
Yeah, man, for sure, you're right. Mindset is everything. Maybe some would say blah, 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 mindset, but no, I say that it all begins here, and definitely if you are feeding yourself whatever you're feeding, that might be fear, that might be success, you're feeding yourself, whatever, you'll be that. And the people, also add the little thing to that, the people you surround yourself with. Obviously, social media is kind of people, but also on the physical side, yes, the people you surround yourself with, or your calls you're making with people, whatever, masterminds, that's also something that impacts you. So I would suggest you surround yourself with people that push you forward, that make you not scared in the situation. Rather, they make you act and do things for yourself, for your family, for the community, for the society, for the world. So yeah, man, cool addition to the number 4. What's number 5, man? Then.
So number 5 is another logical continuation of number 4, which is, I just wanted to remind everyone, as I had to remind myself a few days ago, that entrepreneurs by nature are professional problem solvers. And you want to remember that, especially when problems seems to be big, or seem to be perceived bigger than they are. If you look at the things around you as problems and you look at yourself as someone who can solve them, that shift makes all the difference. So it can be related to your business directly. You can see something happening in your industry. For example, maybe if where you are, Airbnb is still up and you're running an Airbnb, you know that people are concerned about sanitizing, hygiene, cleanliness, and everything. If you maybe buy a few bottles of Lysol or whatever the name of these cleaning supplies are, put them on the page 1, main picture, add something to the title that you do something proactively to ensure that your guests are safe from coronavirus. Think, you know your industry better. Think of the ways where you can solve the problem better than anybody else, because most of the people are in fear, and that's your opportunity. And solve the problem. If you solve that problem right now, where people look for advice, people look for a safe place to be, and you offer that to them, you'll be doing well. And you'll even be growing, you may be growing way more than you have before. So it's an amazing opportunity for you to solve new problems, bigger problems, or solve problems in a new way, so that your audience, your ideal client, sees you as the ultimate problem solver.
All right, so to summarize, the point number 5 is you as an entrepreneur who's watching right now, because I know that my audience here on the channel are people, many Amazon FBA sellers, entrepreneurs, people who think different in a way. Thank you for watching, by the way, I appreciate that. And yes, you need to remember that you're a problem solver. That's your gift, maybe, from the world, from the circumstances in your life. You have gotten the ability to solve problems, to see things differently in a way, right? And if you remember that, you can take it right now in this huge time of opportunity to wherever you want. Now, I have a little example here. I have a friend, his name is Mike. If you're watching this, man, thank you for watching. And he's from Italy, all right? And he's trying to put up right now some sort of a digital so to say, gathering for Italian Amazon FBA sellers just to speak, like an event online, because they're locked up. I think many people in the world are locked up right now. Depends on when you're watching,
Yeah, also.
And so what he's trying to do, he's trying to put it up mainly for the community, for everybody, which I think is awesome. Maybe this video will somehow connect people to him. If you're an Amazon FBA Italian seller, and maybe Mike will give a comment down here, whatever. So it's an example. You see, he's seeing something as he sees this as a problem or an opportunity. He's trying to help others and improve their lives, add value to their lives. And again, you can take it to your own business, on Amazon, off Amazon. Just remember that you have this gift. You're an entrepreneur, and enjoy it, I guess, and help others, improve the world. Yeah. Number 5, man.
To close off number 5, I don't want it to sound negative in any way, because there are some good problems that some people face. Coming back to industries and niches that I see people experience extreme growth in, an extreme problem to solve or extreme opportunity for you may be to increase your ad spend, increase your market share in a way, because if other business owners are scared of the changes and you love the change and you can see where it's headed, you may be able to grow a few times more than you expected just because of that. So maybe it's actually time for you to increase the ads. Maybe not even just PPC ads if you're on Amazon, but maybe just go to influencers. Maybe go into, I don't know, look for free publicity, because it's an amazing time for free publicity. If you're into info products, like you're selling courses, stuff like that, amazing opportunity for free publicity. If you offer some kind of solution to your problem, you can get on big screen TVs easier than ever before, because you'll be the confident decision maker, problem solver that people are looking for.
Yeah, and people are looking for problem solvers at this time, because that's just the nature of people more right now, or many of them. And there's huge opportunities. Yes, for those who are watching, rethink yourself what's going on. You have a big opportunity here. It's also, if I'm speaking to myself as well, I'm also a human being that also, have problems, have fears, but I'm trying. I see that there's opportunity. Sometimes I'm thinking, what can I do? What can I improve? And then I act. I try. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and Vova, you actually reminded me about one other aspect that pretty much everybody can do right now, is an opportunity to be a human and show your friends, family, customers, clients that you care and that you have a plan of action. So the worst thing you can do is ignore that there's a change. Okay, we don't know where it's headed. Nobody has an idea what it's going to look like in a few months, really. But if you simply ignore, sit and wait, and expect this to all change and you'll just do business as usual, you're losing an amazing opportunity to be that voice and be that human that shares. Maybe just share that, hey, I'm scared too, but here's what I do. Here's what I advise. I recommend you do ABC to stay healthy or whatever. And this is our course of action, or this is how we support, let's say, healthcare workers. Be that human. That's an amazing opportunity to show true leadership. And people remember that.
Definitely.
It makes a big difference. Your actions make a big difference in the time of adversity. And now is pretty much time of adversity.
It is. And people will remember that in times of, for example, as now is with the pandemic, times of war. Remember that we're humans. Your clicks that are coming, your sales that are coming, never forget that these are humans. You're not selling to robots yet. Maybe at some point something will change, robots will buy. We'll get to that, hopefully, or maybe not. I don't know if I want to get to that, but right now, humans are buying, humans are around you. Show them that you're also human, and help your business. Because you can even send an email to your email list and say, like, hey, this is me. Like, how can I help?
At the very least.
Just, or whatever. Take it to your own industry. Send a flyer. I don't know. Send a message. Record a Facebook video.
Yeah. Card. Send a gift. Record a video. Send them an email with a video. They'll be thrilled to see that someone actually.
This video is in a way. I'm sorry to interrupt you, man. This video is in a way also thing I wanted to give to the audience here. See how they can, because people aren't Amazon already here. We're giving this. We're enjoying to give it, and hopefully it's gonna affect people in a good way, man. Yeah.
100%. I hope so. So my next point, not to make this too long, is to get creative.
All right.
Because right now, you pretty much have two options. And it doesn't matter whether your business is doing extremely well right now or it's struggling, but you still have two options. You can either crash and burn or get creative, because your business life and your life overall is not going to stay the same. It's going to be different than it used to be even a month ago.
Yeah.
And if you're not making proactive steps to get creative and find new ways to bring in the cash flow or to satisfy your clients' needs, then you'll be losing long term, because it'll be different and you have to get creative. And what I mean is, think of what is flourishing right now. So you may be in the industry where you can apply delivery. If you've been just selling retail, old school retail, brick and mortar store, maybe you want to implement that right now. Reach out to your client and say, hey, we deliver whatever we sold to you before. We can deliver it for free or whatever. We have this offer. First, this number of people, whatever. You can come up with it because you know the industry. Or maybe maybe you're just starting out. Maybe you don't really have that big of a business. Just start with building relationships.
Yeah.
We need to be human more than ever before right now. And if you reach out, let's say, to 100 people and people you know, not just randomly, and offer help, they'll appreciate it. Even if they don't need it right now, you know what help that might need, you know your strengths, you may be able to help them somehow, offer the help, and they'll remember that forever, and they'll help you maybe even shift your career or your business as well. Or maybe even just look for businesses who are actually experiencing extreme growth right now and see how you can join, see how you can either be a consultant or a contractor, do some kind of service, maybe even get a job there. Because the best way to learn is actually working in the industry and see how you can join the winning boat, you know? Like, we're all in different situations. Like, I have friends on both ends. Some are struggling extremely and some are winning big time. And you don't want to be the first one. You want to be joining the winners. And the way you get there is by being human, being honest, and looking for ways to add value. So get creative.
By improving your creativity, and by point number 6, just sum it up, getting creative about whatever you're doing, because there's again opportunity. And if you get creative, if you think outside the box, you can, again, come up with extra ideas. Just brainstorm it with yourself, with your mates, with your business partners. Like, say, we have a big opportunity here. We realize that. Like, what can we do? Maybe that's creating, in my case, I'm a video maker here on YouTube. I can add some videos that speak about this situation. This is, in a way, kind of... as I mentioned before, this is not superbly getting creative, yes, but I guess that's, again, a video that I thought, like, how can I, add the value? Then I ask you, man, like, what you think? What should be the topic? We kind of brainstormed it. This is, in a way, being creative. We're not saying that you need to be creative, like painting pictures, which is also a great thing if you're an artist. Paint something connected, paint something that will show unity, show something that this is what people need now, more than ever. So that's, I guess, being creative. Take it to your own niche. Expand your mind, and great things will come out for sure.
And to sum up this one is most likely you are going through some kind of a pain and struggle, even if it's dealing with good problems, you're still struggling in a way. And remember, this too shall pass. So do not give up. Try to go back to your plan, as we talked, with those event-based milestones, and make rational decisions that will pay off long term. Be extremely human and be flexible. Like, for me, I'm looking at the worst case scenario. What if everything crashes and burns and I don't have the business? What do I do? Like, it's healthy for me to think long term and see, hey, I'll be ready if that happens. And if I'm ready for the worst case scenario, I'm ready for any scenario, right? So for me, getting creative is actually being flexible as well. I was pretty straightforwardly focused only on like Amazon FBA and stuff, but now I'm like, hey, what's limiting you to go beyond that? What's limiting you to working in different industries? What's limiting you to getting new skills that are in huge demand right now? Why wouldn't you go and even work for somebody? Which I know for many entrepreneurs, it's an ego thing. But I'm like, you gotta be creative and you gotta be flexible if you want to win long term.
Yeah.
And ego is usually the enemy, so be careful.
Careful of the ego. Yeah, drop the ego. By the way, man, you mentioned this too shall pass. That's King Solomon, no? I think from the Bible, if I'm not
Probably
mistaken.
it's, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure
I
that
think
quote is 100 times older than me.
You know what?
I have a friend who's also named is Andri. He went to school with me, and he also used to say this. He used to say this quote, kind of "This too shall pass," and that's true. This too shall pass. Hopefully, we're gonna get out of this prosperous with the but this too shall pass. Like things just passed, and yeah, man. Thank you again for giving more light on this. And yeah, guys, ego. Generally, not speaking about this current situation or whatever, I guess, again, it's my opinion, yes, but drop the ego, like, come on, maybe tomorrow you're not gonna be here, like, live, have fun, like, ego is not, maybe it will take you places, it's all like, you can look at it from many sides, but generally, like, come on, relax, enjoy your life, just be present. Yeah,
it's about the energy it brings. If you see that you're gaining energy from being real open, definitely double down on that right now.
Yeah.
Because that's what we need. That's what our families need. That's what our customers need. We need to be human and we need to be humble in this in current stage in our history, because we really don't know what's going to happen and nobody really has 100% control. It's not like 2008, it was kind of made by a certain group of people. Now it's something we don't know much about. It's a new virus, right? And obviously it's not just that. Like I'm starting to follow economy way more in depth than before, which I'm taking this as an opportunity to learn. And I can see that there's an oil price war. And I can see that like this morning I woke up, there's an earthquake in Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, these are all domino effect, like cause effect events that contribute to the situation. And we don't want to take this emotionally again, coming back to that, but we want to know that, hey, if this happens to me, this number comes up or whatever, increase, decrease, and it can be translated to health as well. This is what I do. And if we pre-plan that in advance, it should help us make wise decisions. And I know it's getting pretty long, so I'd love to jump to the last stage, last point, which is enjoy the ride.
All right. Of course.
Enjoy the ride, because I feel like this year is going to be amazing for me, for you as well, if you take it that way, because you'll have amazing stories to tell. And this year you can either grow a lot, or you can just wait for things outside of your control to change, for you to act, which will not lead to that much growth, which will not position you as a winner in life. And all I wish is for you to enjoy the ride, because whatever happens, it'll be an amazing opportunity for growth, and you'll be a different and most likely much better person than you were before. So this is a great crash course for you to grow personally and business-wise. And man, we'll be talking about this year, I'm sure. So have fun.
Yeah, man, for sure. Like, so last point number 7. Enjoy the ride. We're going maybe through not the easiest time, but still, even though, in spite of, still enjoy the ride. Take the leap of faith. Try things. Don't sit in one place and just let it come through you. Like, and because there are lots of opportunity, and generally, like, not just for now, generally need to enjoy the ride. You have only one life, probably. I don't know, maybe there's some stuff, but for now, for this life, yes, for Andri, for Vova, we have this one life. Enjoy it, enjoy the ride, take risks, take opportunities, do things, don't be afraid. I know it's fearful, I experience fear as well, but I sometimes like going through things in spite of fear, and that makes me feel great. So yeah, enjoy the ride, guys.
Makes you feel alive.
Yeah, I feel alive. I feel alive when I'm doing things, and when I'm impacting others as well. I like it as well, especially in a good way. So that's enjoying the ride. And man, if you have anything else to add and say us to something to inspire us, to help us. I mean, you did it already. These are awesome 7 points, man. By the way, just so you know, you took it to a very interesting. I expected a bit different things, man, but I think this is very...
I am sorry.
No, this is a very, very valuable interview here, I think, because firstly, that's a lot of positivity these days, and that's what people are lacking, some, so that's good. But if you have anything else to share, man, like, shoot, if you have something, yeah, I mean, anything.
Well, the thing that I feel makes the biggest difference lately in the way I look at the world and I approach problems is how I start the day. And I think I can recommend people to revise their morning routines because I believe it sets you up to a different game if you intentionally make certain things every morning. Because just like if we talk Amazon, just like on Amazon, you can set up your listing for success. You can do the same with your own life, with your own mind and body, and you can position yourself better if you wake up and do certain things. For me, it's meditating, and I try to do that every morning, which I have to admit that I'm not the most successful at that, but I committed to trying forever. So I'm meditating, getting back to working out early in the day. So first half of the day, I want to have that workout because I feel that my physiology changes my psychology. And I'm writing stuff that is on my mind before I go to bed and also in the morning. Like this morning, I had real great session, like making summaries of my thoughts just for this interview, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. It put me in the right mood, and I feel like I'm ready to crush. And I also, after meditating, also have my own incantations that I wrote down a few years ago, and they haven't really changed. I don't know if it's a good thing, but it's something that I have in written form, so I read them, or more often than before, I actually listen to them. So I recorded an audio using my phone. I just click start and I recorded my incantations, who I am, what I'm about, how do I react to things, what is my mission, what are my values. And that way I make sure that I stay the course and I don't waver, I don't behave as a weak person, but I behave as the best version of myself, which obviously is a constant struggle. But if you have that reminder every morning, I think that helps a lot. And if you put the meaning into it, if you put your soul into it and you do it intentionally, it may be a good change, especially this time in the economic cycle, because the way you react to things makes all the difference. And yeah, I feel like morning routines have helped me a lot, and I'm still working on them. But I feel like that's something that people should look into if they want to live a wonderful life and achieve big time.
Yeah, man, interesting. I think morning routines are definitely a thing that can affect your day, the upcoming day, any day. And I do recommend to people do them as well. I would also recommend one thing from myself, that it is not getting straight away on your phone, because again, based on experience, you have a lot of messages 100%. There, you have this and that, and the first thing once you wake up, yes, your thing that comes to mind, and if you look at the phone, like, you know, and you're gonna dive there, you're gonna dive inside the phone, whatever the message was. And I even tested this on myself. I just did it on purpose. I opened the phone, I saw some messages, and I saw my mind like wandering to this specific, and I was like, whoa, that's really impacting me. So just let it lay there. It's gonna wait. The people will wait. They understand. You don't need to, open it straight away. And of course, if you have any things like Andri mentioned, he reads his, I guess that's affirmations, or how you call this? I forgot the name.
Affirmations in a way, yes.
Incantations.
Incantations,
I don't even know the difference between those two words.
Me too. Like, actually, my English is not my first language, so I learn constantly also the words. But yes, that's true, man. Affirmations, you can read whatever, you can of course type it out or listen to this, to who you are or whatever you like, what you want to achieve today, how do you feel. I like, once I open my eyes, I like, some people call it a pray, but I'm aware, I'm like, I woke up today, another day, awesome. I have a lot of opportunity today. Let's crush it. Let's do something cool. I need to wake up. And, if you do that with time,
expressing the gratitude.
Yes, I think it's important. if you do it with time, you will see magical things happening to your life, to your business, to your whatever, to everything, to you, because morning is the way you start the day. You are born every day in a way. You're lucky. Be grateful for this. And that's awesome, man. So thank you a lot for sharing your time with us. Really appreciate that, man. Just know that this is awesome. And I think this video will impact many people in a good way during this time, man. Really appreciate that, man. And I think people are excited. If they want to contact you somehow, see who you are, how can they contact you, Andri?
They can find me on Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, because I commit here publicly to post something on YouTube at least once every quarter.
That's
so
that's
it's
nice, yeah.
I only have one video right now, but I think the next one is coming within the next few months. Oh, weeks ideally. So find me on YouTube. It's Andri Sadlak.
Description, by the way, the links, everything.
And I'm pretty active on social media, so if you message me and I see you as a positive person, I'll most likely reply. And I'm happy to connect with new people, like-minded entrepreneurs, because it's all about relationships, and I do value relationships I have in my life and the people I attract to my life as well. So let's get connected. And actually, one thing that I also decided recently, and I'd love to make this video the first time me publicly speaking about it, is I'm on a constant journey of becoming the kind of person that can live financially free. So I'm on a journey to financial freedom, and I decided to make it more structured now and maybe start a community. And I think I'll start with the Facebook community. Maybe it'll end up something like a blog, maybe a vlog, like video blog, maybe even a podcast if I feel like that's my forte. But I decided to start it somehow. And one thing for sure, I'll have the Facebook group. I don't know the name yet, but if you're interested in following my journey on becoming the financially free person and to quantify that, to make this a measurable goal, my goal is to retire by the age of 40. And what I mean is to have an option not to work and still have passive income. And I'm turning 30 this year, so it's a big year for me anyways. And I'm like, I'm not really moving that fast in the direction where I want to be. So let's commit, let's say it publicly, and then you pretty much won't be able to waver. So by the age of 40, in 10 years, I plan to be financially free. And I have to quantify the numbers and everything. And I just decided I'll share everything publicly. So if you're interested in that, shoot me a message. And once I have my group up and running, I'll send you a link and let's stay connected.
Goosebumps, man! Really, great. Really, I swear, awesome, man. I'm all into this. What you're saying, that sounds awesome. And first, you will achieve that, man. And I'm pretty sure you will be financial free by the age of 40, if not before, man. And again, the group, if it will appear sometime, I will just link it down here as well. So for those that will be looking in a year for this video, they can join, man. And I will definitely join as well.
And just to make another disclaimer, I don't plan to capitalize on this in any way. There's no sales, obviously. Like I just decided I have to be publicly open and share my journey. And I think there's value for others seeing other people struggle and still go through the struggle and still persist and achieve something. And hopefully I will be the one who can say, hey, I've achieved something. And I think that the best part, as you said, we don't know how long we're going to be alive on this planet.
No one knows.
Even if I inspire one person by what I do in life at any stage, I'll know that my life was worth living, right? So I'm like, even if I'm not comparable to all these big names, as long as I'm open and honest and share what I discover, what I learn, and help other people achieve their goals, I'll feel good about myself. So it's kind of selfish at the same time, but here it is.
In a good way. Selfish is also good, man. You know, selfish is healthy as well.
It can be.
Yeah, it can be for sure.
Man, thank you. What can I say? Just thank you. This is the word I can say, man. And I appreciate that. And I hopefully you will come more to this channel to share other stuff, man, because this is very powerful. Thank you, man.
I appreciate it, brother.